In a world where the line between reality and fantasy fades away, where silence carries a secret, and every whisper tells a story. Welcome to The Whisper of the Narrator. Here, tales are not just told, they are lived. Souls are reborn through words of mystery and magic, where fear, passion, and destiny intertwine. Every story you hear here will awaken something within you. So listen closely. The whisper begins now. Are you ready to listen? Chapter 15. Jimmy is a smart guy. Something happens that surprises Violet and me. Jimmy turns and looks at Thomas with an annoyed look. "Shut up, you muscle brain!" "Huh?" Thomas didn't understand why his friend reacted so strongly to his words. He was going to say something again, but he decided to keep quiet because he saw the look Jimmy was giving him. It was a look that said, "Shut up and let me figure this out." Well, this is interesting. Jimmy seems to be a smarter man than Thomas, who only acts out of emotion, I thought, as I looked at the two hunters standing in front of me. Like I was saying, Jimmy looks at me and flashes a gentle smile. Then he continues with bright eyes. "Sir Vampire, we're just here to hunt down the vampire named Lucy." I had already deduced that. Oh, who is participating in this hunt? I asked curiously. Jimmy seemed to be very willing to cooperate. Me, this idiot here, and 3 more veteran hunters. A man named Carlos Reese. He's an American vampire hunter. And a woman named Mizuki. She doesn't have a last name that I know. She's a Japanese hunter. Jimmy spilled everything as if he were confessing his sins to a priest. When Mizuki's name was mentioned, I felt a slight tensing from Violet, so I looked at her. When she saw my look, she opened her mouth and began to speak. Mizuki is a veteran hunter. She's one of the new generals of the Inquisition. She spoke in a neutral tone. Then, she continues, she can fight a vampire who is over 500 years old easily. The last report I heard about Mizuki was from Japan, where she had single-handedly eliminated 10 clans of noble vampires. Japan's noble vampires aren't as strong as those in the Romanian community. But even so, that's an impressive feat. How many generals are there? I asked, curious. I was surprised by the fact that it seems like humans have strong people on their side. 4. Each general is an exceptional force that can fight 1,000-plus-year-old vampires easily. They are the strongest humans alive. Violet seemed to praise them for a moment. Then she continued, I don't know how they do it, but it looks like the Inquisition is getting stronger as time goes on. Historically speaking, humans always adapt against the threats they faced, so it's no surprise they're getting stronger. But I'm pretty sure the methods they're using to get stronger aren't nice for the people involved. After all, humans can commit the greatest atrocities for the greater good. Jimmy suddenly began to speak out loud. It is clear. The generals are God's chosen warriors. They have eternal youth and many God-given abilities. Father, bless this lost lamb. He spoke like a fanatic as he looked up at the roof of the abandoned building and clasped both hands together in a gesture of prayer. Chosen by God, huh? I thought, with a little skepticism. Does the God he talks about so much exist? Why didn't he eliminate vampires? After all, he was supposed to be a powerful being, right? I think someone is using the name of God to bring people together, to fight for their organization's goals. Well, this wouldn't be the first time in history that someone has used the name of God to do something like that. And the last hunter, what's his name? I asked Jimmy. Jimmy stopped praying and looked at me. It's not him, it's her. Then he continues. Her name is Maria. She is an American woman and also Carlos's partner, but she is missing. Maria, Carlos, and Mizuki. 3 strong hunters and 2 beginners. They are putting a lot of effort into hunting Lucy, as I believe that just Mizuki's presence alone would be enough to eliminate Lucy. He didn't look like a strong vampire. I start to reflect on the information I obtained, and I can't help but think of something. The situation has changed. This is becoming a dangerous game, and interesting. I can't help but smile a little when I think about it. But then I put my hand to my face and think, when did I start having suicidal tendencies? And why am I having fun with this situation? I'm a newborn vampire. If I were to confront these hunters, I would just die like a pig being slaughtered. I need to control myself. I start thinking about what I should do next. Then I look at Violet, who's been staring at me for a long time. And she says, "We can't let them go anymore." I nod in agreement with my wife's words. It looks like she had the same thought as me. Why? But we told you everything we know. Please do not kill me. Jimmy spoke in despair. I look at Jimmy and I can't help but think he's very cowardly. And at the same time, very smart. He prioritizes his life and doesn't mind selling out his allies to live on. He's the perfect example of a soldier that you wouldn't want around in your organization. By comparison, Thomas is a loyal man and hot-headed. He is a perfect pawn. Just out of curiosity, did you choose Thomas as your partner? I asked with genuine curiosity, as I pointed at Thomas. I didn't choose him. God chose us to be each other's companions, Jimmy said, annoyed. He seemed to have spent a lot of time with Thomas. Oh, now I get it. They brought the two together on purpose. They hoped that Thomas's loyal personality would pass on to Jimmy. After all, people are influenced by other people. It seems that God is a very cautious being. Well, I apologize, Jimmy. I can't let you go. After all, the situation has changed. But don't worry, we won't treat you badly, I said with an innocent smile. I appear next to Jimmy and try to test something I've wanted to for a long time. And now we have the perfect guinea pig here. Look into my eyes. My eyes turn blood red. You will do whatever I order, okay? Soon I hear Violet. That isn't going to work, darling. They have something that prevents them from being enchanted. Oh, I look at Violet. We've never found out what it is, but the Inquisition has ways that can prevent vampires from enchanting the members. She suddenly stops talking when she hears Jimmy say, "Yes, I will." Jimmy spoke with blood-red eyes. Huh? Darling, what did you do? Violet asked excitedly. I was about to answer Violet, but Thomas, who was just silently looking at us with hate, yelled, "I'm going to kill you, bastard! What did you do to Jimmy?" He looked at me like I was his mortal enemy. This man has a very big hatred, huh? Looks like something happened in the past. I can guess what happened, just from the look of hatred he has for me. Looks like he's a victim of vampires. Oh my God, please. As he was about to start speaking the incantation, I appeared in front of him, and grabbing him by the neck with my right hand, held him in the air. Just shut up and obey me for now, okay? He looked into my red eyes, and soon his eyes turned red. Yes, he spoke in a mechanical tone, as if he had no life. I drop him gently to the ground. Looking at the two hunters, I display a small smile. I was still curious about some things, especially about the spells they did in the last fight. I'll make them tell me everything I want to know. Let's get them to your mansion. I don't want potential enemies in my parents' house. I say. I was thinking the same thing, darling. Sasha House. I'd heard what happens, Lady Sasha. Kaguya spoke in a neutral tone with a little sympathy as she looked at Sasha. She was currently in a luxury hotel room. Precisely speaking, she was on the 25th floor of a luxury hotel in a presidential suite. She was looking at a blonde woman with short hair and blue eyes that were constantly changing from red to blue. It was quite obvious to Kaguya that Sasha was bloodthirsty. Sasha has a voluptuous body, big breasts, but not as big as Ruby's, and pale skin. But the feature that draws the most attention is her ass and her legs, which were very thick. If Ruby had the biggest breasts, Sasha had the biggest ass and leg Kaguya had ever seen. And did you come here to give me your pity? She spoke with cold, tired eyes. Kaguya shakes her head and asks in a neutral tone, "What happened?" "This is not your problem," Sasha spoke coldly. "Wrong," Kaguya said coldly as her eyes changed to blood red. "I've known Julia longer than you. She was like a teacher to all the maids who served the houses of the 4 vampire earls. Just like she was a teacher to me, she was a mother to you. This is my problem, too." Sasha opened her eyes a little and spoke in a sad voice. "I understand. I'm sorry." Kaguya was silent for a moment. She wasn't very good at comforting a person. "What happened?" she asked again in a neutral tone. Sasha's eyes, that had been alternating between sapphire blue and blood red, suddenly turn red. And then she orders, "Maid." A blonde maid gently opens the door of the room she was in, walks slowly towards Sasha's side, and stands beside Sasha waiting for any order from her master. From beginning to end, all her movements were very robotic. It was quite clear that Sasha was abusing her status as master. Kaguya looks to the side and sees the blonde woman with her hair tied in a low bun. She has blue eyes and a serious expression. Her outfit is a maid's uniform, similar to the one Kaguya wears. And she wears long black gloves so as not to directly touch her master. Kaguya could also see with her vampire vision small threads surrounding the woman, as if they were protecting her. When the maid appeared, Sasha began to speak. "After the ritual took place, I went home." She started to describe what happened. "And so The whisper fades, but the story never truly ends. Each tale hides within it a new beginning, perhaps even another life waiting to be told. You've been listening to The Whisper of the Narrator. If this journey touched your soul, don't let it end here. Subscribe, stay, and listen again. For the next whisper will be deeper, darker, and more beautiful.